Welcome to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. Tonight, we are in Texas, just outside of Houston, in Prairie View for a SWAC matchup between Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M. And this game has big implications for the conference. Why? Because look at this. In the West, you will see that Prairie View right now is at 4-1. They control their own destiny with 3 games left in the season, a chance potentially to meet Jackson State in the conference championship. And with that, we will say hello. Justin Kutcher alongside former Oakland Raiders quarterback Stanford Routt. Stanford, let's talk about this matchup here tonight. What are you looking for out of these two teams?
Well, both teams have a lot at stake. Alcorn State obviously has not had the type of season that they've wanted thus far, but they still have the ability to be able to finish out the year with a winning record, as Coach McNair alluded to in our talk with him this week. And then when you go to Prairie View University, that's where they want to make sure that they stay atop the Western Division within the SWAC. That way they can have that matchup against Jackson State, what they've been wanting.
Okay, so if they're going to do that, they'll rely on their quarterback, who's not your typical throw-first quarterback, more of a run-first quarterback, and that's Trayvon Conley.
Justin, don't you know in today's brand of football, you have quarterbacks that are willing to run. Look at Lamar Jackson for the Baltimore Ravens, and for Trayvon Conley, he is doing just that. 530 rushing yards on the year, 11 touchdowns. He is somebody that is going to have to make sure that he is the straw that stirs the drink for this offense if they want to come out victorious tonight.
His coach told him just a couple weeks ago, go back to what you do best, and that is run the football. So he runs the football very well. This Alcorn State team, they've got a 3-headed monster at running back called the Trident, and they're led by their Syracuse transfer in Jarvion Howard.
Jarvion Howard, what can I say? I can't say enough about this guy. Leads the SWAC in rushing yards, 931 to be exact. They are going to have to make sure that they have the ground and pound working on all cylinders tonight to go ahead and get this victory against this Prairie View defense.
You'd have to expect you'd want to see him get to 1,000 yards on the season tonight and some other yards from the other guys in that Trident offense as well, because they're going to need some ball control if they're going to upset Prairie View in this one. In the SWAC, in HBCUs, a lot of big-name coaches. For Alcorn State, the name McNair, you just think about Alcorn, you think about McNair. Fred McNair is the head coach. For this Prairie View A&M team, a guy with an NFL pedigree, it's Bubba McDowell in his first year as the head coach for the Panthers. Prairie View A&M won the toss. They have elected to defer, so Alcorn State will start with the ball. The referee tonight is Jarvis Williams. Our replay official is Mike Davis. We are hoping to get this game in uninterrupted. There is weather coming in later on tonight in the Prairie View area, but hoping it's not supposed to hit here until around 10 p.m. local time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. There you see the temperature. Manny Jones is back for Alcorn. Luis Reyes will kick off. And we are off a low kick. And this is fielded at the 5 by Jones. Jones across the 20, nice spin move to get out to the 22-yard line. And this is a bit of a surprise move for Alcorn State, but Trey Lawrence, the sophomore quarterback, will get the start here tonight. Aaron Allen is out with an injury. So Trey Lawrence, who saw time last week against Grambling, you see him, first career start happening on national TV. The coaches, they'd say he's young, but he has all the skills to be very successful. And you have to expect that he will rely heavily on that running game.
Oh, yeah, Justin, what a way to go ahead and start off your career. You got to throw them in the fire, see if they can go ahead and handle the kitchen.
On first down, the handoff is to Jarvion Howard. And Howard gets 3, tackled by Dante Carter.
And you're going to have to see a heavy ground and pound type of scheme out of this Alcorn State offense because, like you just said, you got a new quarterback in there. Quarterback's best friend is the run game.
Howard leads the SWAC in rushing yards. Takes the handoff again. And he's able to shuffle forward to the 28-yard line. setting up third down.
Great job by outside linebacker, the Willie linebacker, Travion Green, coming in off the edge, being able to make this tackle. Now brings up about a 3rd and 5 for this Alcorn State offense.
Lawrence looking over to the sideline in the shotgun on 3rd and 4. Back to pass for the first time, and that's incomplete.
Tight coverage by Prairie View on the edges. This is exactly where you're going to see Trey Lawrence. He's going to have to grow up very quickly tonight. You can see right here on your screen that throw just a little bit off, but he's throwing in a double coverage, so you can exactly see why he's trying to put the ball where his only his receiver could get.
CJ Bowler was the intended receiver. Noah Kiani on to punt. Xavier Johnson back to receive, standing at his own 40. This will go out of bounds at the 44 of Prairie View A&M. So good starting field position here for the Panthers, a 28-yard punt. We talked about Trayvon Conley in the open, and now you see his numbers at 6'2", 196 pounds. This is a guy who went home in the offseason to work on the passing game. And on the season, he's completed about 62% of his passes.
Justin, I'm looking for Prairie View to come out, try to take a shot early, something to get the juices flowing, something to build up the confidence of the aerial attack for Trayvon Conley and the rest of this bunch.
In motion goes Colby Washington. On first down, it's a handoff to Jaden Stewart, and Stewart tries to slip a tackle. He'll get up to the 46-yard line. Andrew Smith there with the stop.
They're going to test the edges of Alcorn State. They're going to test these corners, making them to see if they can come up and make tackles in the run game. As you can see right now, it's about a 2nd and 7, so a little bit of a mixture of what you might see on this 2nd down out of Prairie View's offense.
Conley in the shotgun, all alone. Quick pass out to Washington. Washington up across midfield. One of the points of emphasis for this Prairie View team, establish the run early.
And now you got a 3rd and short coming up. Look for Alcorn State to try to confuse Trayvon Conley a little bit, maybe bring some pressure, maybe a zone blitz.
On 3rd and 4, it's kept by Conley. Stops, dives forward, and that will be enough for the first down. Nice job by Trayvon Conley. His coaches said he's very shifty. You see him hit the brakes and make that cut to get the first down.
Yeah, to your point, Justin, you hit it right on the head. You can see right there, puts that foot in the ground and gets upfield, gets his Alcorn defense running side to side, and then he gets vertical for the first down.
We've got a player down on the field. It looks like it's Kieron Kinsler, the 5th-year senior out of Florida. It's a warm night here. We talked about it before he came on the air. Not a typical November evening. Very humid, even though we are just outside of Houston, but maybe some cramping early on. 1st and 10 coming up as they look at Kieron Kinsler for Alcorn State. Kieron Kinsler, one of the leaders of this defense for Alcorn State, goes down. Really can't tell what happened to him, but he was able to get off the field under his own power. Jaden Stewart in the backfield here on first down for the Panthers of Prairie View. And he takes the hand up the middle.
Number 1, Jaden Stewart.
Terrence Ellis with the tackle.
If Alcorn State wants to come out victorious in this game, they're going to have to make sure that they do a good job of stopping the PV Panthers on first down. Try to get them behind the sticks. That way now they can dig deep into their plethora of defensive sets. That way they can now pin their ears back, get after Trayvon Conley.
With Conley in the shotgun, empty backfield, typically you'd think pass. With him, are you thinking pass or run?
I think with him, he's truly a dual threat, so you have to play him honest because he can hurt you with his legs and his arm.
On second down, Conley will throws wildly to the sideline, intended for Collier Hicks.
Good job by Marcarius Blunt being right there in the slot position, forcing that errant throw to the sideline. Now this brings up a 3rd and a long 7 yards. It gives you more options on the defense side of the ball. I'm looking for Alcorn State to try to confuse Trezon Conley, try to give him some sort of a pressure, maybe go ahead and blitz him from the outside, keep him in the pocket because we all know that he's a mobile quarterback.
Empty backfield again on 3rd and 6. Conley on the run. Conley gets hit from behind. Malachi Bailey there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Great job by Malachi Bailey, showing that he has that motor. He is never going to stop. You can see right here in the replay, he is coming in from the left side of your screen, and now he just keeps working. He falls down, and you can see Trezon Conley is now scrambling, trying to pick up the 1st down. Great job. Never give up, Malachi Bailey. And now Alcorn State is off the field on defense.
Efren Jasso on to punt. Manny Jones at his own 10. Pressure coming. You can hear them say, watch out, as this was going to go out of bounds at the 4-yard line. A very nice punt by Efren Jasso. 35 yards, pins Alcorn State deep in their own territory. So for Alcorn State, this trident running back of Jarvian Howard, Nico Duffy, Javante Leatherwood, all of them, as you would expect, bring different skill sets to the table.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to have to lean on heavily today, having the new quarterback, Trey Lawrence, making his first start. Look for them to try to get on the edges, maybe sprinkling some trick plays.
On 1st down, the handoff is to Howard, trying to create some room. He's going to get 2 yards. So far, 3 run plays for this Alcorn State team, 1 pass play. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Howard stays in at tailback. They give it to him again, and he gets wrapped up in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard. Jesse Evans, who's been key for this defense for Prairie View, makes the stop.
Fantastic play because they're getting penetration up front. Justin, you know this penetration is the name of the game. It's the key to stopping the run on defense. Now you got a 3rd and long situation. Once again, you're going to see Trey Lawrence. He's going to have to drop back and pass. I'm very interested in seeing what PV tries on defense.
Just trying to get some room, even to punt out of the end zone. There was a loss of 4 on that play. Here's the pass to the far sideline, and that's complete to Montario Hunt. Makes a man miss and gets the 1st down. Huge play by Montario Hunt, goes for 16.
This is what you have to do to get your quarterback going. Montario Hunt on the far sideline, a simple stop pattern. He now makes the cornerback miss, and he's now picking up the 1st down, giving his offense some breathing room and now some confidence for your quarterback.
And now some room to run for Howard. Howard gets about 3. Troy James, the leader of this defense, with the tackle.
And now if I'm Trey Lawrence, now I'm finally kind of settling into things. I just had a nice completion, picked up a 1st down. Let's see if they try another easy short pass again.
They'll keep it on the ground to Howard. Travion Green, the linebacker, number 0, tackles number 0. 3rd and 2 coming up.
And this is a great situation to be in on 3rd and short because now you can have a run-pass option for your quarterback.
It's Howard able to bounce to the outside. Howard's got some room to run. Jarvian Howard shoved out by Jamias Presley, but another big play for this Alcorn State offense. This goes for 22 yards.
The straight handoff to Jarvian Howard up the middle. Then he sidesteps, gets a nice jump step off to the races, off the left tackle. Now pushed out of bounds, entering PV territory. This is what you need if you're Trey Lawrence to get going with this offense, get your feet wet and get comfortable.
Ball is at the 50. They started at their own 4. Howard with a beautiful move, and Jarvian Howard back-to-back big runs for 1st downs as he takes it up to the 36. 14 yards. He's got 36 yards on the last 2 runs.
Justin, I don't know if he's already hit the 1,000-yard mark, but he might be already about to hit it right now. Another great jump cut, this time breaking to the right, going through the teeth of the defense, and now inside the 40-yard line.
Nico Duffy comes in to spell Jarvian Howard. Nico Duffy, a guy who could hide behind the tackles. Instead, the pass wide open, C.J. Bowler, and Bowler's got the first down. And Alcorn State is into the red zone at the 20-yard line. The 15th consecutive game with a catch for C.J. Bowler.
Great touch for Trey Lawrence, finding C.J. Bowler in the soft spot of the defense in the red zone.
Duffy takes the handoff. He bounced it outside, and Duffy gets tackled, and a flag comes in the backfield. The shoestring tackle by Bryce Turner. Let's wait to see if this is coming back.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a hold, Justin.
Holding. Offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. Remains. First tackle.
TJ Yarbrough gets called for the hold, the left tackle.
Yeah, you can see right there, anytime the defender, now his body contorts, he gets wrapped around, anytime a referee sees that, he's going to be sure to call it.
1st and 20. And this will be offside.
And now it looks like Alcorn's going to be able to get a little bit of it back.
Offside. Defense, number 9 with contact. 5-yard penalty. Remains.
So now it's 1st and 15 as Dante Carter got called for that. He got baited to jump offside.
Right now, if I'm Alcorn State, I'm going to go ahead and let this thing open up a little bit. We see Trey Lawrence has now completed his last 2 passes. Let's try and see if he can get in even more of a rhythm. I'm going to test these corners.
Lawrence looks over to the sideline. Play clock is down to 4. Handoff, Duffy. And Duffy, 5'11", 175 pounds, trying to hide behind that offensive line.
This time, Prairie View was able to sniff out the inside zone by Alcorn State. This now brings up a 2nd and a long, about 13 yards. And now, I think if you're Alcorn State, you're seeing a little bit of a maturation process in this early going for your quarterback. Trust in him, believe in him a little bit. Let him put the ball in the air. Test these corners, because if you continue to lean on the run game heavily, I think you're going to make yourself one-dimensional.
Here's a pass play. Lawrence rolling out to his right, throws it away with the pressure coming.
Smart play by Trey Lawrence. You're already in the red zone. You're already in field goal range. You drop back to pass. Nobody's open. You're now scrambling, running for your life. You just simply throw the ball away, live to fight another down. Don't try to force it. Don't put it in harm's way. Now brings up another 3rd and long situation. But as you can see, Justin, you're on the 23-yard line. You're still easily within field goal range.
They've converted back-to-back 3rd downs on the drive. This one a little bit longer at 3rd and 13. Duffy up the middle. Nico Duffy still going, pushing forward, and Nico Duffy's going to convert. He needed 13, he got 14.
Prairie View is expecting pass. They go and give a little bit of the delay, draw to Nico Duffy, and he does the rest straight up the middle, making people miss. Big play for this Alcorn State offense.
They give it to him again. He takes it inside the 5, down to the 3, 2nd and goal from the 3.
Great lead blocking by TJ Yarbrough, leading the way for Nico Duffy once again. Now inside the 5-yard line, I would not be surprised if they hand it to him a 3rd time in a row.
It's Duffy again, and this time he gets stood up at the 2 by Keyshawn Johnson. The transfer from Louisiana Monroe, who is a grad transfer, smart guy, and one of the two players that were really talked about by the coaching staff, Troy James, Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, now you got a 3rd and goal. Jarvian Howard just came back into the game, replacing Nico Duffy. If I'm Alcorn State, I want to get Trey Lawrence on the move. That's where he's at his best. That one, he has the option to run. He has the option to pass. He can find one of his receivers in the back of the end zone. C.J. Bowler, Monterio Hunt, all of those guys. I want to give him the option right now on this 3rd down. I would put him on the move on a bootleg.
It's Howard, and Howard gets stopped. He's going to lose a yard, Jarvion Howard. So now it's going to be 4th and goal from the 4. Decision time here for Fred McNair. Kendon Jones able to stuff Howard.
And yeah, Justin, I think that they got a little bit too predictable. They started getting some runs. It started off with Jarvion Howard, then Nico Duffy. Feels like they got a little too predictable. And when you get down there in the red zone, especially inside the 5, PV is just able to tee off because they know you're going to run the ball. You got to throw the ball to loosen up the defense.
Noah Kiani on for the field goal. And Kiani's field goal is good to give Alcorn State the first points of this game. A great drive, 14-play drive for Alcorn State, ends up with 3 on the board.
Prairie View right now on both sides of the ball, so very interested to see if Bubba McDowell is going to make any adjustments to try to go ahead and reverse this.
And if you think about it, that last drive, which went 92 yards, resulted in a 21-yard field goal. Remember, it opened when they were facing a long 3rd down from deep in their own territory and got the first down along the sideline. And here's Leatherwood busting one. Javante Leatherwood gets spun around, thrown forward to the 48 of Prairie View, a 20-yard run. Shaheed Reese with the tackle.
Right now, Alcorn State, Javante Leatherwood, they are taking advantage of Prairie View not being able to hold the edge, as you can see right there on the right side of the offensive line.
Leatherwood ran into his own man that gets dropped for a loss. Keyshawn Johnson gets the tackle for a loss.
And just as soon as I say that, Justin, now they make sure to maintain the edge and maintain the penetration on that first down, get in the TFL.
3rd tackle for a loss by this Prairie View defense in the quarter. Second and 13, Leatherwood stays in. Pass to Malik Rogers. Rogers makes a man miss, then gets hit hard from behind.
Once again, Alcorn State trying to test the edges, trying to put their best playmakers out in space. Malik Rogers on the simple bubble screen, letting him get some positive yards, getting some of it back. Now still brings up a 3rd and long situation. We've seen Trey Lawrence now have a couple of completions. Let's see if now he's able to really go ahead and lead this team down the field for a possible another score.
Jarvion Howard in at tailback. 3 seconds to go in the quarter, and Alcorn State will let the quarter come to an end. Smart decision by the young quarterback, Trey Lawrence. A 3-0 lead. The first quarter, like you said, it was a strong quarter for the Alcorn State Braves. They kept the ball on the ground. They kept the clock going, and they lead 3-0 after 1 quarter. College football on ESPN is presented by McDonald's. Alcorn State leading 3-0 as we start the second quarter, Alcorn State had the ball for almost 10.5 minutes in that first quarter. Nico Duffy in the backfield. Trey Lawrence forced out of the pocket. Lawrence to run with it. And Lawrence able to scamper all the way down to the 31-yard line.
Great veteran play by Trey Lawrence. He scans the field. He does not find anybody open. So you know what? He does not force the ball in the tight windows in the harm's way. He just simply tucks it down, runs it for the first down, and now puts Alcorn State even closer to the red zone of Prairie View.
Fifth run of 10 or more yards in this game for the Braves, as Nico Duffy takes it right up the middle. Picks up a couple of yards as Dante Carter gets the tackle. Dante Carter, a big guy, 6 feet, 295 pounds, out of New Orleans. Second down and 8 coming up here for Alcorn State. Jarvion Howard back in at tailback. Lawrence takes the shot to the end zone, and it's incomplete. No flags on the play. The pass intended. For Joshua Compton.
And when you look back at this play, Logan Jackson, the corner, he was beat. Compton had a step on him. Trey Lawrence obviously put a little bit too much on it, but more of a safe throw rather than putting it in harm's way for Jackson to possibly pick it off if it winds up being underthrown. I like that play call. It just shows a level of aggression that the Braves are willing to have.
Alcorn State facing a 3rd and 8. They've converted 4 of the last 5 third downs, and this could be 2-down territory for Alcorn State. With the play clock winding down, a timeout taken here by Alcorn State. So Fred McNair will discuss things with his team. What do they want to do? 3rd and 8 coming up from the 29 of Prairie View. Fred McNair in his 6th year as the head coach for his alma mater. Decisions coming up. 3rd and 8. His field goal kicker, Noah Kiani, has a range of about 42 yards. Stanford, how much does that play into the play call decision-making right now?
I think it does play a big part in it, especially if you're already anticipating that you're going to go for it on 4th down, because now you're not going to be as desperate to pick it all up on this 3rd down call.
Jarvion Howard in the backfield on 3rd and 8. Lawrence throws high over the middle. That was deflected. And so 4th down and 8 coming up. There is a big wind going in the direction that Alcorn State is heading in. And it looks like they will try the field goal attempt for Noah Kiani.
Fantastic job by Troy James, the defensive tackle for Prairie View, getting his hands up, tipping that ball in the air. That's why it went so high versus it just being an errant throw by Trey Lawrence. And now this is what allows PV to be able to get off the field, just surrendering possibly just a field goal, and Alcorn State not being able to go for the 4th down because it's 4th and 8, not 4th and 2 or 3.
A 46-yard attempt for Kiani. And Kiani, with the wind behind him, drills it. So he's 2 for 2 on the night. 1 from 21 and 1 from 46. And you can see Alcorn State fired up for their sophomore kicker out of Minnesota.
And yeah, having that win with him probably helped a little bit. And I think this is just so far budding. It's building for Alcorn State, building their confidence. Coming into this game, obviously, Coach McNair said that he wanted to finish on a high note these last several games of the season. PV, they want to go ahead and stay atop of the Western Division within the SWAC Conference. That way they can go ahead and have that elusive game against Jackson State. So right now, Alcorn State looking to be a little bit of spoiler right now.
6-0 Alcorn State leading. You talk about trying to finish with a winning record. 3-5 on the season. You win out, and you're going to have that winning record for Fred McNair. Lorenzo Garcia will kick off again. Connor Wisham and Christian Mosley are back deep for Prairie View as this low line drive is going to go in and out of the end zone for a touchback. This is a second consecutive week for Prairie View that they have gotten off to a slow start.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to try to go ahead and open it up a little bit more. Trayson Conley, he's going to have to go ahead and hit some of those big-time throws that he missed earlier in the first few drives. And I think for Mark Frederick, maybe a reverse, maybe a screen pass, something like that. Try to get this offense going, get them some juice. Because right now, Alcorn State is just out-physicaling Prairie View on both sides of the ball.
Prairie View last week overcame a deficit 158-48 over Bethune-Cookman to set up this matchup here tonight. But just 9 snaps in the opening quarter. The handoff to Stewart, and Stewart gets up to the 29-yard line.
Good start to this drive, picking up 4 yards on the run play off tackle with Stewart. Now brings up a 2nd and 6. You have a little bit of a variety that you can now bring to the table with your play calling if you're Mark Frederick. Try to go ahead and mix it up a little bit. Try to get this Alcorn State defense back on their heels. That way they're not dictating to the offense.
On 2nd and 6, design quarterback run. And Conley has to scamper outside, picking up maybe a yard. 3rd and 5 upcoming here for Prairie View.
And this play was made by Kamarja Kinney, coming off of that right edge, now putting pressure on Trayson Conley, not giving him the free run up the middle that he wanted. Now he's got to break it off to the side. It's now allowing the defense to be able to pursue to the sideline, forces a simple no gain.
On 3rd and 7, Conley has to make a couple of moves, can't avoid 3 tacklers, and it's back-to-back 3-and-outs forced by Alcorn State as Claudine Sherrillis came up to make the tackle.
This is some great defensive play calling by Jonathan Bradley and Cedric Thomas, the co-defensive coordinators, because they're now confusing Trayson Conley. It looks like he's not exactly sure what the defense is about to give him. Sometimes they're playing man, sometimes they're dropping back playing zone, but nonetheless, they're getting pressure. It's forcing him to have to speed up his internal clock. That's why Alcorn State right now is up 6-0 in this game.
Efren Jasso on for another punt as Manny Jones is back at his own 36, and this is blocked. Goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Special teams. Ernest Woods III comes up with the block. Great starting field position coming up for Alcorn State. Special teams, the third dimension, comes up big for Alcorn State. Ernest Woods III with that punt block. And in our talk this week with Fred McNair, he says we're still waiting to play a complete ball game. Offense, defense, special teams. There's still a lot of time left in this game, but right now they played a complete first quarter and plus.
Oh, yeah, for the first 19 minutes of the game, it has definitely been complete so far. That's why they're shutting out Prairie View offensively, defensively. Now special teams, they get the big block on the punt. It now puts the Braves offense already in the red zone, or should I say the high red area. So now look for Trey Lawrence to go ahead and try to punch this ball in, either with his feet or maybe with his hands through the air.
Alcorn State will start at the 18. Jarvian Howard spins away from the first tackle. Jarvian Howard across the 15 down to the 13-yard line.
And this is a critical possession right here for Alcorn State. You can punch this ball in the end zone and now put up 13-0. As you can see right here, tough running for Jarvian Howard.
How critical is it for the Braves to put up 7 and not 3?
Oh, it's critical because you can get up 13-0 versus only getting a field goal, and that way it seems like Prairie View is able to kind of have a win for them if it's only 9-0 versus 13.
Howard gets to the outside. He has the first down, setting up 1st and goal as Travion Green is able to push him out.
And already you can see we've only been in this game, maybe 5 minutes into the second quarter. I'm sorry, 4 minutes. Jarvian Howard is already putting his imprint on this game. He's ready to go ahead and punch this ball in the end zone because you can tell he's starting to feel himself. He's starting to smell it. And if they go up 13-0, it is really going to put Bubba McDowell and this rest of this Panthers organization in a bind.
And it's also starting to come down right now with the rain. We said rain was in the forecast. So how much does that impact this game? Howard in with Leatherwood as well. It's Howard. It's Howard able to fall forward for a yard. Second and goal from the 6 coming up.
Also on the tackle, number 24, Lauren Jekyll. Second down, goal to go, Braves.
Alcorn State trying to capitalize on the blocked punt. Howard stays in at tailback. Low snap, fielded, throw, touchdown! Caught by Juan Anthony. Trey Lawrence fielded the low snap, threw a seed on the slant to Anthony.
Justin, I'm not sure if you could find many performances or just many outings that are better than this early on first career start for Trey Lawrence than what you're seeing. He's already up 6-0 and then now throws the nice strike to Juan Anthony on the slant pattern in the end zone. Bobbles it at first, things like that, but he still gets the ball in there. And this right here can do nothing but bode well and just exuberate, breed confidence for the rest of this Braves organization.
Well, they're going to take a look at this to
see
see if it was in fact a catch by Juan Anthony. Did he maintain possession the entire time? Jarvis Williams is making his way to the replay monitor.
I'm sorry, he didn't bobble it. The ball bounced off the ground from the center. And yeah, you know what, Justin, that right there, that's interesting. You look at this ball, and did he trap it? Did the ball hit the ground? Did he have full possession of it while he's going to the ground?
Well, what was really interesting also was you saw that official right there looking at him. He never signaled touchdown.
Yeah, he looked very hesitant.
It was the linesman who was the one to signal touchdown, and he was blocked by the back of Juan Anthony.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Justin, I think that might be coming back.
So I think he has control.
Because right there, with his right arm wrapped around the ball, you can see the nose of the ball is still free to be able to touch the ground.
All right, so what are you saying, yes or no?
If I'm
overturned or not?
If I'm the referee, I am overturning that, and I'm saying that's incomplete.
All right.
But then again, maybe it's just the DB in me.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say it's going to stand. Jarvis Williams speaking with Mike Davis right now. If it's an incomplete, it'll set up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I think this might be coming back, Justin. But it's one of those plays that it could really go either way. It's just all based on objectivity, and it's just all based on perspective.
So the DB says no catch. Bubba McDowell takes off the headset.
After review, the ruling is the player did not possess the ball throughout and make the catch. Therefore, we have an incomplete pass, 2nd down.
All right, so you were correct, but it should be 3rd down, not 2nd down.
The ball will be played from the 6-yard line.
It will be 3rd and goal from the 6 now for Alcorn State.
If I'm Alcorn State, I'm going to try to punch this ball in through the air. I think that I think that they're going to be expecting to run the trident, the 3-headed monster. I think you got to go ahead and ride Lawrence's arm again. He's been playing well so far. Allow him to continue to build his own confidence.
The overturned call. Howard stays in at tailback. Can Alcorn State answer again? Lawrence in trouble, dancing around, buying time to the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Monterio Hunt, this time the intended receiver.
Once again, a smart play by Trey Lawrence. He's scanning the field, going from his first option to his second read, to his third read. You can see right there on your screen, he is scanning the field. He cannot find anybody open. He now decides to go and scramble to his right. I can't find anybody. I can't pick up the first down or the touchdown. I'm going to simply throw it away. Now we can go ahead and still grab 3 points, and ultimately it can be a 9-0 lead.
Kiani on for his third field goal of the game. And this one is in from 23. So that is a win of sorts for Prairie View A&M. A touchdown comes off the board. They allow just 3, and they trail 9-0. Both are on ESPN and the app. Back here at Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. Alcorn State leading 9-0 over Prairie View. They have been completely dominant so far. However, only 9 points on the board. Lorenzo Garcia will kick off. Christian Mosley is back deep with Connor Wisham for Prairie View A&M, and Prairie View needing to win to maintain their status as number 1 in the West. And this will be returned by Wisham, 2 yards deep in the end zone. Wisham able to break a couple of tackles and now spun around shy of the 20-yard line. Prairie View A&M, Stanford, 12 plays in 3 drives, 26 total yards. Their longest play so far, 6 yards.
Yeah, right now Alcorn State is just simply playing at a different speed than they are, and it's showing offensively, defensively, and special teams, as you can see by the block punt. So right now as good a time as any for Trezon Conley and the rest of this offense to try to go ahead and jumpstart this team, build some momentum, try to get a long, lengthy drive. Hopefully it winds up in some points being put on the scoreboard before halftime.
Connor Wisham will get the opportunity here at tailback with Conley at quarterback. On first down, the handoff to Wisham. And he's able to get 3 up to the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 7 coming up. This offense for Prairie View returned 9 starters from last year's team. So Mark Frederick with first-year head coach Bubba McDowell. Bubba McDowell said, offense is yours. It's kept here by Conley. And Conley to the 27. Claudine Sherilis with his 2nd tackle of the game.
Nice misdirection. I mean, that fooled me. I was really thinking it was going to be the jet sweep, but straight up the middle on the quarterback draw for Trezon Conley. Now 3rd and short. You got to see PV get this 3rd down conversion, because if they give the ball back to Alcorn State with 8.5 minutes left to go in this first half, this has potential to really get out of hand going into halftime and in the second half.
3rd and 2. Stewart to the backfield. Play clock is down to 2. And we're going to have a timeout taken here by Prairie View, afraid of getting delayed a game.
Timeout. Prairie View.
2 will come up after the timeout. I would say that Trezon Conley hasn't gotten going, but really nobody on offense for this Prairie View team has gotten going so far.
Yeah, Alcorn State has done a good job of keeping them off balance, trying to mix up the defensive sets with pressures, zone blitzes, trying to pressure from the outside, keeping them in the pocket, sometimes flushing them out of the pocket, making sure that they do not get the run game going, because we all know Trezon Conley, he is a mobile quarterback. He likes to run the ball. They've done a good job of keeping them off balance, keeping them confused, not sure exactly what is coming from which direction, and that's something they're going to have to maintain throughout the entirety of the rest of this game.
Last week against Bethune-Cookman, 340 yards. Tonight, so far 28. The handoff here to Stewart, and Stewart will get the first down. Just the second first down tonight. Robert McDaniel with the tackle.
And Prairie View got the first down, so great for them. But you can see even when they're getting these third down conversions, they're barely getting them. Like, this is just a simple 3-yard gain for PV's offense. That is something that they're not accustomed to, and that's a testament to how Alcorn State is playing right now and the speed of their team.
Pump fake, Conley throws the sideline, wide open receiver. Kobe Washington.
Great job by Alcorn State. They took away the first read for Trezon Conley. That's why he's now flushed out of the pocket, running to his left, and then that's just a simple drop.
Yep.
Conley or Ricks, he's got to catch that ball. You got to help out your quarterback. He's already been struggling in the early going. You have to be able to try to build that confidence, get some continuity, get some momentum going, and you can ill afford to have drop passes wide open on the sideline like that if you're trying to get this offense moving.
Play clock at 1. And we're going to have a delay of game.
Before the play clock expired, timeout, Prairie View. Second, 30-second timeout of the half.
Just beating the flag.
And that's a timeout that I'm pretty sure Coach McDowell did not want to burn right then and there. But he sees his team is obviously struggling with the play calling, getting the play into the headset. That way Trezon Conley can go ahead and relay it to the rest of the offense. That right there is just simply, okay, we don't want to take this 5-yard penalty. Let's go ahead, call the timeout. That's why they give them to you. But that's one he did not want to burn right there, in my opinion.
They avoid the 5-yard penalty, keep it at 2nd down and 10, but after a drop pass that we just saw, now unable to get the play in, forced to use the second timeout. Prairie View is just not clicking as of right now. Pass near sideline, Ricks. Collier Ricks with the catch, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Gets about 11 yards.
Collier Ricks on the simple stop pattern down there at the bottom of the screen, running the hitch pattern. A great way to go ahead and redeem yourself after the wide open drop just a few plays before.
First play tonight at 10 or more yards for Prairie View. Handoff to Wisham. And Wisham falls forward for 2. Malachi Bailey with the tackle. 2nd and 8 as Jaden Stewart cycles back in at tailback here for Prairie View.
Alcorn State looking like they're about to run zone coverage. Maybe they might be bringing somebody off the edge.
Handoff to Stewart. Tries to cut it back. Ernest Woods, who had that blocked punt, makes the tackle.
And Ernest Woods, he was obviously in zone coverage, but then you can see he's starting to creep to the line of scrimmage as being that extra defender to go ahead and come off the edge, to set the edge, to go ahead and try to thwart any outside runs by the Panthers. Fine job by Ernest Woods.
And now Alcorn State, a little confused on their substitutions. They'll have to call a timeout. Second timeout for the Braves in the half. 6:15 to go here in the second. Alcorn State leading 9-0. Fred McNair, he's not happy with the substitutions and the miscommunication for the substitutions, having to burn a timeout there.
Well, yeah, for Coach McNair, right now he feels like his team should be up 13-0.
At least.
Or possibly maybe as many as 21-0. He knows that they've missed some opportunities. Yes, they're leading 9-0, but it could be so much more, and he wants perfection out of his team. He wants them to be great. Good is the enemy of great, and that's why he's trying to go and just push them forward. That way they don't have the miscues. They don't shoot themselves in the foot.
3rd and 4 coming up. Empty backfield for Prairie View.
Before the snap, timeout, Alcorn.
There were 12 men on the field for Alcorn State coming out of that timeout, so they have to burn the final timeout.
And yeah, you could see there was Keywayne Jones who was running off of the field, and he obviously, you could tell they had once again another miscue when it came to substitution. Not really sure exactly what package they wanted to have on the field. And whenever you have situations like that, that's where head coach Fred McNair just goes crazy and goes berserk.
Well, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of Prairie View's band, The Marching Storm, on ESPN Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. Alcorn State is out of timeouts for the rest of the half. Prairie View's got one remaining.
The Prairie View Panthers have the ball.
This third and four, the much anticipated third and four.
Right now, if I'm defensive coordinator, I am bringing pressure. I'm going to try to get the ball out of Trezon Connolly's hands very quickly.
Here comes the pressure. Connolly trying to run for the first down. He will get there. Cherilus finally there to bring him down, trip him up.
Trezon Connolly showing exactly why he's the elusive runner that he is within the SWAC conference. Great job picking up the first down, extending this drive.
At the 46 of Alcorn State, Connolly throws this one out of bounds. Nearly a catch on the bench by Troy James. The pressure applied by Tavarian McCullum.
Number 16.
Great job by this Alcorn State defense. They are coming in and they're now staying within their rush lanes. And to your point, Tavarian McCullum right now doing a great job of not getting too far up the field, not giving any Trezon Connolly any rush lanes to try to elude the pass rush.
Stewart. Jaden Stewart to the 42. Terrence Ellis, another tackle for Alcorn State.
And that's what it's all about. You got to win on first down, and now you can see a 5-yard, 4-yard gain for PV on this second down. Now brings up a 3rd and 6 situation where you're looking like it's probably going to be more pass-oriented on this 3rd down, and now this gives defensive coordinator Jonathan Bradley a little bit more variety to be able to try to confuse Trezon Connolly and the rest of this PV offense.
Player down on the field, Robert McDaniel for Alcorn State. With 5:13 to go here in the first half. And it
just looks like a Charlie horse, maybe a cramp.
Alcorn State defense this season in the FCS, their ranks just over 3 sacks per game, over 7 tackles for a loss. So far in this first half, they have played really, really well. They've kept Conley really in the pocket most of the game. We haven't seen Ahmad Antoine. Jaden Stewart has gotten the bulk of the carries. We saw Bernard Goodwater in as well. And they're still working on Robert McDaniel right now. Again, a warm evening here in Prairie View, Texas on senior night for the Panthers. This Prairie View team, when you look at the remaining schedule, next week at Arkansas Pine Bluff, 0-5. They wrap up the regular season at Mississippi Valley State. They're also 0-5. That's why this game is so important. To win this game, you then finish the year with 2 teams who are winless as of right now, and you have that chance to get to the championship. 3rd and 6. Panthers go empty again, and it looks like this will be a false start.
False start. Number 89, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still.
And you can see Coach McDowell is very heated because this once again is another penalty, shooting themselves in the foot, because now look what you got, Justin. You got a 3rd and a long 11 yards, and now that gives defensive coordinator Jonathan Bradley, Cedric Thomas, once again, more room to try to move around, more room to give you a simulator, give you a zone blitz, give you some sort of pressure, a.k.a. confusing Trezon Connolly in the pocket.
3rd and 11, Goodwater in the backfield. Delayed handoff to Goodwater up the middle. Nice cut, and Goodwater has a first down. A big run by Bernard Goodwater.
Once again, another delayed handoff. Bernard Goodwater running straight up the middle, making people miss. Big run.
And now a play down the sideline. The pass is caught by Colby Washington. There is a flag on the field.
Yeah, I think that might be coming back as a block in the back.
As of right now, it's an 11-yard gain.
Holding. Offense, number 17. 10-yard penalty for the spot and foul. Remains first down.
Kyle Ricks right over there again on the block, on the edges, seeing the swing pass. And that's something, once again, you can see Coach McDowell another time, once again, angry, upset, because he feels like his team, right when they get some momentum, they shoot themselves in the foot, and it causes them to go backwards.
It will be first down. First and 13. Goodwater takes the handoff. Chris Ballard, a junior out of Dallas, Texas, with the tackle. Coming up on 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 9-0 Alcorn State leading. 2nd and 12 here for Prairie View A&M. It looks like we're going to have a false start again.
Snap infraction, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Luis Chavaria. It looked like the ball just got stuck when he tried to snap it. So now Prairie View A&M is moving backwards, 2nd down and 17. Chance Jones comes back in at center. And the handoff to Goodwater. Nowhere to go that time. Terrence Ellis continues his big first half defensively for Alcorn State.
Terrence Ellis has been all over the field all night long, and you can see on that play, once again, knifing through the offensive line, getting in there, helping out, getting on the stop. And now, once again, Justin, I feel like I'm a broke record player. It brings up another 3rd and long situation where now it seemingly makes PV one-dimensional.
3 for 3 on 3rd downs. This drive is Prairie View. Connolly with time, throws the crossing route complete. And that's Chris Herron. And Herron's going to come up short of the first down marker, but let's not forget, you're going into the wind right now.
And yeah, they're going for it.
Yep, Connolly's going to stay on the field.
No hesitation, they're going for it.
4th and 3. Connolly passing on 4th down, going back to Herron. It's broken up this time by Kieran Kinsler. We saw Kinsler leave the game earlier in the first quarter, back on the field, makes a big play right there to get Alcorn State off the field.
Fantastic play.
9-0, Alcorn State leading, 2.5 to go.
Going back to this 4th down play, you can see Jaquan Bloomfield just simply runs up the field a few yards and runs the quick press out. And then you can see Kieran Kinsler doing a great job coming out of his position, taking the perfect angle to break up the pass. Fantastic play, Alcorn State now with the football.
Kinsler with that pass breakup on 4th down. So takeover on downs for Alcorn State. They keep it on the ground with Jarvian Howard. He'll get a yard on 1st down. Going back to that play, Stanford, as a cornerback, what are you reading? Are you reading the receiver and his cut, or are you looking at the quarterback in his eyes?
Well, whenever it's a 4th down and short like that, you're reading the 3-step, because the quarterback, if he has a 3-step or he quickly drops back and he has the ball in his right arm ready to throw, you know that it's going to be quick game out of the receivers, and that is exactly what Kinsler was reading on that play. That's why he was able to get the pass break up.
2nd down and 9, under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. They'll keep it on the ground. to Howard. And Howard gets stopped by Jesse Evans. Jesse Evans trying to fire up the team with Travion Green.
Justin, it is incumbent upon this PV defense to make sure that they do not allow any more points. They got to stop the bleeding. They cannot go into the half down by any more than 9 points. This is Alcorn State with a chance right here, a minute and 20 seconds left. They can really step on PV's throat right now if they manage to pick up this first down.
3rd and long coming up. Trey Lawrence has looked good at quarterback, making his first collegiate start. It's Howard again up the middle. The extra effort gets him to the 33-yard line. And a timeout is taken here by Prairie View, the final timeout of the half. That will force a punt by Alcorn State. So now with a punt, out of timeouts, if you're Prairie View and you're Bubba McDowell, are you sending everyone trying to block this punt?
I don't know about everybody, but I definitely want to try to put pressure on the punter, see if I can come up with a block kick the same way Alcorn State did against Prairie View earlier in the game, simply because I got to try to put something on the board. I can't go into this half down 9-0. Alcorn State already has the momentum. Right now, them calling this timeout is so they can get the ball back, so they can attempt to try to put something on the board to try to lessen this score going into the half.
Fred McNair, his team is leading 9-0. Noah Kiani to punt. Xavier Johnson is back to receive. Kiani gets the punt off easily. Johnson gets a block, and now he gets tackled at the 32. This week's featured ESPN college football game. It's Bryce Young and number 6 Alabama against Jaden Daniels and number 10 LSU in a huge SEC West matchup. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on ESPN and the app. Well, if we go back to the Houston Oilers, Bubba McDowell in his rookie year, Nick Saban as the DB coach, and Bubba McDowell said that he owes a lot to Nick Saban because in his rookie year, McDowell missed an assignment. And Jerry Glanville, the head coach, wanted to pull him out of the game. And Saban went to Glanville, said, keep him in, he's going to do something. Well, he did do something. And after the game, Saban said, thanks for making me look good. And that's when he knew Nick Saban had his back. Second and 10 coming up after the incomplete pass.
And this is a great job by Calvante Key, the left corner for Alcorn State Braves, sitting on this curl route, expecting some version of a quicker pass and almost picking the ball off. Great job.
Conley, a delayed draw. Neither team has a timeout remaining.
And yet, once again, Malachi Bailey, once again in the backfield, making plays in the run game.
Prairie View will get the ball to start the third quarter. And that may have been the final play run of this first half.
Yeah, they're just going to go ahead and run it out.
Can't blame them. Don't want to fumble. Don't want to turn over here. This first half comes to an end. 9-0 Alcorn State pitching a shutout on the road in Houston against Prairie View.
No doubt about it. I think it was a fantastic job coming in here, winning on offensively, defensively, and special teams, or should I say dominating, not winning, because the game is only half over. I think that you're going to see some big things out in the second half.
But with that said, Alcorn State, 3 field goals in the game, all coming from Noah Kiani, 21, 46, and 23 yards. A good game here in Prairie View, Texas. Through the first half, 9-0 Alcorn State.
Draft stats on your own. Alcorn State, because they simply have not shot themselves in the foot as much as PV has.
So Jaden Stewart will start in the backfield with Trayvon Conley. Conley had one long pass over the middle to Jalen Howard. They could not connect. That would have resulted in 6 points. Here on first down, the handoff to Stewart, straight up the middle, and Stewart with a good run will get 7 yards. Terrence Ellis, another tackle here for Alcorn.
And this is a good way to start off the drive. 7 yards, nice gain, brings up now 2nd and 3. You're now helping out your quarterback because Trayvon Conley now on 2nd and 3 has a multitude of options at his disposal.
Play action, throws to the near sideline, complete to Jalen Howard. A first down, 18-yard pickup, so 2 good plays run here, and now Howard is down on the sideline.
Great start to this first drive. You can see a nice strike of a throw to Jalen Howard in the honey hole, finding the soft spot within the defense. Big play, now putting the PV up near midfield.
You saw Jalen Howard on the ground, on the sideline for Prairie View A&M, the training staff tending to him. 1st and 10 up at the 46-yard line. Conley hands off to Stewart, and Stewart could not get around Terrence Ellis. A sophomore, 6'2", 211 pounds. Terrence Ellis has been impressive. Jaden Stewart in this Prairie View offense. You see what it has done. Not a whole lot.
Been averaging 28 points a game the last 2 weeks, and it just goes to show Alcorn State has came in here. The Braves have decided that you are not going to just run the ball at will. We're going to play faster than you, and that's why you're seeing this game so far.
High snap, Conley able to handle it, runs up the middle. Conley, maybe that's what he needed. A broken play as he slides for the first down. And Trayvon Conley gets 13 yards.
Justin, I'm not sure that maybe they drew it up like this because the way when the ball gets bobbled, it now kind of creates a little bit of a delayed draw. And that's exactly what opens up the Red Sea for Trayvon Conley down the middle of the field.
A split performed there by Chris Herron, but it's going to be no catch, incomplete.
Got a little gymnastics going on here in the early third quarter.
That hurt. Just watching it hurt. Chris Herron, who has seen some time at quarterback as well, a transfer out of Kansas State.
And you can see right now, PV has decided to open up the playbook. They are now getting more exotic with their play calling.
On 2nd and 10, they fake the shovel pass. And it's Conley again making a move, and he's got another first down. Robert McDaniel with the tackle, but not before another 14 yards picked up by number 14.
Trayvon Conley showing exactly why he's the leading rusher on this football team. They give a little bit of the play action fake, going on the jet sweep. That freezes the defense a little bit, and now he's able to knife right up through the right guard and the right tackle for another big first down. And now you're seeing PV getting in this high red area. Let's see what they can do with it now that they're down here.
From the 24-yard line, Conley throws over the middle, and that's caught. Touchdown, Colby Washington. 24-yard strike from Conley to Washington.
Well, you can clearly tell that Bubba McDowell said something to them in the locker room because they come out first series, and it is very methodical and direct, led by Trayvon Conley, and that is an absolute dart to Colby Washington down the middle of the end zone, right in front of the upright. And just like I said, Justin, now it is 7-0. It is a brand new football game.
Luis Reyes on for the extra point. That is good. So here or when those lack of touchdowns come back to hurt Alcorn State from the first half. They led 9-0. Now a touchdown by Prairie View on their opening drive of the half. 7 plays, 79 yards in under 3 minutes, and they now trail 9-7.
Let me show you how to go ball.
College football on ESPN is presented by McDonald's. Prairie View A&M on the board. The 24-yard touchdown pass, Trayvon Conley to Colby Washington. Second touchdown of the season for Washington, the junior out of Houston. So Luis Reyes will kick things off here for Prairie View A&M. Manny Jones will let this one sail over his head through the end zone. A touchback here for Alcorn State. Let's go back to the touchdown pass to Washington.
Very definitive on this drive. I love how Trezon Conley is surveying the defense, and then he finds Colby Washington deep in the back of the end zone. You could see that Alcorn State was running a little bit of a split safety look, and Colby Washington was simply able to split both the safeties. That's why you're seeing nobody in front of him, seeing the DB in the trail technique position, and a great throw, and that's exactly why now you're seeing with just one quick series, PV is now back into this game.
So what will the response be from Alcorn State? Jarvion Howard 4 yards shy of 1,000 on the season. And they're going to reset the play clock as the band has finished performing. 1st and 10 from the 25 here for Trey Lawrence. The run for Howard. And Howard, he is over 1,000 yards on the season as he gets close to 15 yards on that carry.
And that's exactly who they're going to have to lean heavily on, Jarvion Howard, in this second half to come out victorious. Once again, you see him going off a right tackle, and he is just simply making people miss. They are bouncing off of him like bowling pins on a bowling ball.
Pass behind the intended receiver that time, C.J. Bowler.
A little bit of a miscommunication. I think that Trey Lawrence is expecting probably a hitch. C.J. Bowler breaks it in on a slant pattern, and that's what happens whenever you have a new quarterback. They tend to get a little bit on different pages because they haven't had that much time to have that cohesion yet.
5th straight incomplete pass by Trey Lawrence. He's now 3 for 10 on the night. 2nd down and 10 for Alcorn State. The handoff to Howard, and Howard gets tripped up, and he was about to break another one.
That's exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to lean heavily on Trident, lean heavily on the three-headed monster to try to make sure that they maintain this lead, keep Trey Lawrence, keep his spirits up, keep his confidence high, because see, now that PV has gotten on the board, you want to make sure that you don't hand the momentum fully to their sideline.
3rd and 6.
I think Prairie View is going to come with some man coverage in the back end. Try to make these two windows very tight for Trey Lawrence to throw into.
Lawrence dumps it off to his running back, Howard, who gets wrapped up immediately by Shaheed Rice. That'll bring up 4th down. And the punt team comes on for Alcorn State. Noah Kiani.
This time, Prairie View, they come out in a zone coverage. Trey Lawrence is able to go and survey the field. He does not find anybody open. He just simply dumps it off to Jarvion Howard. Prairie View now swinging that momentum back to their sideline, getting off the field, getting a little bit of confusion for Trey Lawrence.
Noah Kiani on to punt. Xavier Johnson is back at his own 20. Comes up, fair catch signaled and made at the 29-yard line. So that's where Prairie View will take over, a chance to take the lead on this drive as they trail 9-7. Let's see who's bringing the flavor tonight, brought to you by McDonald's. That was the flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. 9-7. Alcorn State leading Prairie View, 10:18 to go here in this 3rd quarter. That was pretty good flavor. This is the ultimate flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. My partner up here in the booth, Stanford Rout, look at what he is rocking tonight.
Oh, wow, you guys are really putting me out there. Sometimes, hey, fellas, you like to go ahead and spice it up a little bit. Friday night.
Those aren't Jordans, my friend.
No, they're not. I can't go ahead and just say out loud what the brand is, but it is one that everybody has heard of. I can promise you on that.
Jaden Stewart on the carry. They're impressive, I'm not going to lie. And they matched the suit. Stanford route came dressed to impress on this November Friday evening. Second down, and Stewart again. And Stewart runs right into Ernest Woods. Woods, who had that block punt earlier tonight. Third down coming up.
Ernest Woods at his nickelback position has done a great job of setting the edge all night long, being physical within the run game, because for all you young corners out there, that is an element of the game, being able to come up and tackle.
3rd and 4. This would be big if Alcorn State could force a 3-and-out after giving up a touchdown on the last drive.
I think Alcorn State might try to bring pressure this time against Trezon Conley.
Conley hands off to Herron, and Herron will have enough for the first down. He is at the sticks, just beyond it. Terrence Ellis could not get there in time.
I think a great job with the misdirection. Right here you can see on your screen with the simple fly jet sweep. That is what sends this defense now moving side to side. Big play. This now moves the chains for the Panthers offense.
Bernard Goodwater comes in at tailback. He takes the handoff, and Goodwater gets spun around. Claudine Sherrillis, again, active defensively tonight for Alcorn State.
Claudine Sherrillis, the Mike linebacker for this Braves defense, doing a fantastic job. This now is just a simple yard loss, but this pays such big dividends because you're winning on first down. If you're Alcorn State now, you're putting the Panthers in a situation where now they got to be a little bit closer to one-dimensional on this second down to try to get some of these yards back.
Connolly will hand off to Goodwater again, and Goodwater again gets hit by Sherrillis. Back-to-back plays by Claudine Sherrillis.
Boy, Sherrillis is really feeling it now. Brings up a 3rd and long situation. So right now for Jonathan Bradley, Cedric Thomas, the defensive coordinators for this Braves defense, now you want to try to get a little bit more exotic, maybe get a little bit more creative, because with this being an obvious passing situation, I do not want to give the same presentation to Trezon Conley that I've been giving all night.
On 3rd down, Prairie View started this game 1 for 4 since. They've gone 4 for 5 on 3rd downs. Conley back to pass, throws, and that pass is complete. Christopher Simmons for the first down. They're now 5 of their last 6 on 3rd down. And that's one of those backbreakers defensively for Alcorn State.
And this is just what you call simple pitch and catch. Trezon Conley finds him right there in the wide open curl area. He's already eluded the curl flat defender, wide open. You could see that they weren't put together that way, that well on the defense side of the ball for the Alcorn State Braves.
The pass towards the sideline, it's incomplete. They fake the handoff to Stewart. 2nd and 10.
I'm very pleased to see how Prairie View has opened up the playbook in this second half. They are not being simple. They are not being what you would call, some would call it timid, or just simply adhering to what Alcorn State is dictating. They've now decided, Trezon Conley, go ahead, throw the ball, help us win this game.
Stewart up the middle, slips through a couple of tacklers, and Stewart has another first down up to the 31-yard line. 15-yard pickup, Napoleon Collier with the tackle.
And because you're now seeing more passes out of this Panthers offense, that's what's loosening up the defense for the run game to have success.
Here's a pass, complete to Herron, but Herron is hit right away by Marcarius Blunt.
Macarius Blunt with the textbook play out on the edges, a simple swing pass to the receiver, get him out in space, and Macarius Blunt gets his head across, tackling above the knees but below the waist. Great position, great play, tackle for a loss.
10th play of the drive coming up. As a defensive back, how difficult is that play to make, tackling with space?
Very difficult, because you got to be able to pull the trigger. A lot of times guys, they're nervous to pull the trigger, and then the receiver catches the ball, has a little bit of room to give you a sidestep. So great play. That is not an easy one to make for any DB.
Connolly dumps it off, and that's incomplete. The pass intended for Stewart, and Stewart got hit. So 3rd and 13 coming up. Again, they are going with the wind at this point.
And now you can see Conley evading pass rush, getting outside the pocket. He simply tries to dump it off to his receiver. And my man, you've got to catch that ball. Jaden Stewart, you've got to be able to help out your quarterback, because that would have been a nice game. Maybe not a first down, but now look at it. It's 3rd and a long 13, ball on the 34-yard line. If you see a sack out of this PV offense, that could push them out of possible field goal range, and then they're going to have to punt the ball. So very big down coming up right here.
On 3rd and 13, the quick pass to Herron. Herron makes a move. Herron dives forward, and he has a first down. Unbelievable. They're 3 of 4 on 3rd downs of 9 or more yards.
Great play by Chris Herron, the redshirt junior out of Houston, Texas, on the simple press out, and now he's just simply able to put one foot in the ground, make the DB miss, able to get up the field, now in the red zone, picking up the first down for the Panthers offense.
Kieran Kinsler is down again here for Alcorn State. He was down in the first quarter, and now he's getting to his feet as Alcorn State clings to a 9-7 lead. Join us for our next UFC Fight Night tomorrow from the Apex in Las Vegas with our women's strawweight main event. 16-1-2, Marina Rodriguez takes on 12-2-1 Amanda Lemos. The prelims start at 4 Eastern, followed by the main card at 7 Eastern on ESPN+. To tune in, go to espnplus.com or download the ESPN app. Well, Prairie View had just 101 yards in the first half. They have 123 in this quarter. On 1st and 10, it's kept by Conley. Makes a man miss to the end zone. Touchdown, Prairie View A&M. A 20-yard run by Trayvon Conley puts Prairie View A&M ahead in this one.
That's a fantastic play design, Justin. Right now you can see Trayvon Conley. He looks like he was shot out of a cannon, and the way that hole opened up for him after they simply just do the fake read zone.
Luis Reyes on for the extra point. And the extra point is no good. Reyes misses it. So it's 13-9 after the 20-yard touchdown run by Conley.
And once you do that jet sweep fake, that's what freezes the defense, getting them to go side to side, and then Conley is straight up the gut. You can see that whole part's like the Red Sea, and then once he gets off to the races, nobody's catching him, Justin.
12 plays, 71 yards, capped off by a 20-yard run by Conley. 143 yards in the quarter for Prairie View A&M. What a difference that halftime speech by Bubba McDowell must have meant.
And now you can start to see Prairie View, they're starting to get that momentum. Now they're 13-9, they're getting up. Now you have to see Trey Lawrence find a way to bounce back, put together something significant, put together something successful on this drive coming forward for Alcorn.
Reyes to kick off, and this will sail through the end zone for a touchback. Alcorn State, we talked about this in the first half, Stanford, unable to get one in the end zone. Could really come back to hurt them. They were up 9-0, 3 scores. But you see already 2 scores by Prairie View A&M, and they have a lead.
Well, Alcorn is definitely going to have to put one in the end zone now. They're definitely going to have to put something in the end zone for the entirety of this game if they want to come out and be victorious. And the thing is, it's right there for them. You see Trey Lawrence, he's had his positive moments throughout the first half. Obviously, they're going to lean on Jarvian Howard. They're going to have to do both of those, running and passing, if they want to go ahead and make sure that they finish this game with a W and not an L.
That was Elliot Ratton, the co-offensive coordinator. And this pass is low, intended for Nico Duffy.
And simple plays like that, the simple plays, the routine ones, that's where Trey Lawrence is going to have to put it right there on Nico Duffy's numbers, allow him to get some positive yardage. That way it's not 2nd and 10. Because this defense, they're going to start to pin their ears back. They mess around and get another score, then it's going to be an obvious passing situation for Alcorn State. And that's when you get one-dimensional, you're just playing into the hands of the defense.
Hand off to Howard. Danced around, hit by Kendon Jones. 1 yard on the play, now 3rd and 9. The momentum was all on Alcorn State's side in the first half, and now it has shifted. It's Prairie View A&M with the momentum.
Yeah, you got 3rd and 10 for Alcorn. Right now, if I'm defensive coordinator Todd Middleton for Prairie View, I'm going to try to light him up. I'm going to try to speed up his internal clock with the pressure.
Flag on the play.
Ball start. Number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still, 3rd down.
Steve Carter, the center, gets called for the false start. And you can see Trey Lawrence right now, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida, saying, hey, let's calm down, calm down.
You're going to have to go to the air. You're going to have to be able to throw into tight windows if you're Trey Lawrence. It's times like this where he's going to have to grow up in front of your very eyes.
Facing a 3rd and 14. Lawrence forced out of the pocket on the run. Lawrence throws, lofts it up, dangerous pass, and that will hit the turf. Nearly picked off by Logan Jackson. Juan Anthony, the intended receiver.
A very dangerous pass. Rolling to his right, trying to make something happen. It overthrows Juan Anthony a little bit, but more importantly, he's putting the ball close in harm's way with the Prairie View secondary. That play could have been very well a disaster if you're seeing right here on your screen, it just would have been a little bit more to the left. You got 2 DBs coming in right there simultaneously at the very end. Could have been a big turnover.
Noah Kiani on to punts. Xavier Johnson at his own 46-yard line. Prairie View A&M expecting great field position. Johnson, the fair catch made at the 48 of Alcorn State, which will bring out Trayvon Conley. We just saw him with a 20-yard touchdown run, and this is what he's done tonight.
Yeah, it is big play after big play, and now you're starting to see the momentum swing completely to the Panthers' favor. And now, to cap it off, a strike that you can see right there to Colby Washington over the middle. And now he decides to I'm going to just do it myself, Justin. I'm going to run it into the end zone, and I don't think anybody put a finger on him before he touched the goal line.
And again, on those highlights, you saw runs and 1 pass. This is the first drive tonight, starting in plus territory for Prairie View A&M. First down, handoff, Stewart. Stewart keeps those legs churning. To the 46. A long 2 as Tyler Smith makes the tackle.
Coach Fred McNair for Alcorn State has always emphasized that he wants them to play a complete game. He wants them to be better. He wants them to be great. And now you kind of wonder, Justin, is this defense starting to feel a little bit lethargic? Are they starting to feel a little bit of exhaustion? It's kind of warm out here in Houston, Texas right now, or should I say in Prairie View, Texas. So now you got to make sure that they keep the fluids going. You've already had a few cramps because now this PV offense is getting going.
Conley airing it out. The adjustment unable to be made by Collier Ricks. Edwin Summerhour on the coverage.
Good coverage. Edwin Summerhour right there doing a great job of cutting off the receiver. All you young corners out there, make sure that you cut off the receiver whenever he's going on a downfield pass play. And Collier Ricks simply is not able to bring it in. Great play for your Alcorn State defense.
The Panthers 3 for 3 on 3rd downs in this quarter. Facing a 3rd and 8. They go empty backfield.
The Braves have to get off the field right now. They got to find a way to get the ball out of Trayvon Conley's hands.
Conley pumps, throws down the sideline, wide open to Heron. Another 3rd down conversion, 4 for 4 in the quarter.
Justin, I can tell you there is nothing in a defensive coordinator's playbook where you leave a receiver wide open on the sideline. Kudos to Trayvon Conley for finding the wide open Chris Herron down the sideline for another big play now in the Braves territory. I'm sorry, into the Braves red zone.
Now the handoff to Herron. Back-to-back plays to him. The previous one went for 28 yards.
And right now, you're seeing Alcorn State in the same position that Prairie View was in the first half. Alcorn State desperately needs to only surrender a field goal right now with the ball at the 10-yard line, because then you're still within striking distance of a one-score game.
Conley trying to make a move. Great containment by Tyler Smith, not allowing Conley to turn the corner and force him out of bounds.
And that's exactly what you're going to need to see out of Alcorn State within their defense. They are going to have to make sure that they maintain their gap integrity, maintain their rush lanes. Do not allow Trayvon Conley to get out, because when he gets outside the pocket, that's when he is deadly. He's good from inside the pocket, but when he's outside, that's when he's deadly. And now you see this big 3rd and 4 situation coming up. I got to light him up. I got to bring pressure.
Stewart takes the handoff, and the tackle is made by Sherilis. Boy, was that a big tackle for Alcorn State.
Big tackle for Alcorn State. Now you're starting to see right now the field goal team come in, because if they pick up the big first down, they could possibly punch this ball in, and then now this game starts to get a little bit out of hand. Great job by Sherilis. Great job by this Braves defense for preserving this game, still being within striking distance for their quarterback, Trey Williams.
Luis Reyes, who missed an extra point, on for a 28-yard field goal attempt. And there's a flag. It looks like it's going to be offside. Let's wait to see. The kick was good. It was 4th and 4, so if it's an offside, it's going to be a first down.
Offside. Defense. The 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
A backbreaker right there. You know Fred McNair is not happy. He's going to chew that gum a little harder.
Yeah, not at all, because now you're giving Prairie View a fresh set of downs. Potential to possibly go up 20-9, and when you have your quarterback making his first career start, that's something you can ill afford to put him in that position, put him in that deficit. So let's see if this Braves defense can stand up.
1st and goal from the 6. It's Sherilis again on the tackle of Jaden Stewart. Stewart gets a yard. 2nd and goal from the 5 coming up. Under a minute to play here in this 3rd quarter, a 3rd quarter that's been all Prairie View A&M.
And right now, if you're the Braves defense, you just simply want to get to the 4th quarter. You want to find a way to get a stop, possibly get off the field, but you simply want this 3rd quarter to go ahead and whittle all the way down. That way you can now switch fields, you can regroup on the sideline, and figure out how you are going to still, in these last 15 minutes, come out on the victorious side.
Stewart again, stopped at the 5 by guess who? Claudine Sherilis. And that is most likely the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Well, we clearly see somebody that wants to make sure that they can preserve this deficit that they're in. So we got a big 4th quarter coming up.
11:54, time of possession for Prairie View in that 3rd quarter, outscoring Alcorn State 13-0. They lead 13-9 as we head to the 4th here in Prairie View, Texas. All Prairie View A&M in that 3rd quarter, leading 13-9 as we go to the 4th, and it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. Conley rolling out to his right. Conley pressured, goes down, gets sacked by Malachi Bailey. Alcorn State's defense comes up big again.
Conley on the simple sprint out to his right. Great job, Malachi Bailey, knifing in there, rushing the quarterback, gets the sack. That is a big play for this Alcorn State defense because now they're able to get off the field, only surrendering a field goal, which is exactly what we talked about, Justin. It puts them still within striking distance to be able to come back, tie this up with a one-score game.
A 34-yard attempt by Reyes, and that is good. So it's now 16-9, a one-score game. Alcorn State got called for an offside on the first field goal attempt. They make the defensive stand, force a field goal attempt, but Malachi Bailey, big time for Alcorn State.
Just take over the game, baby. Yeah.
Our Week 9 Monday Night Football matchup. It is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They lead the AFC North by a game. They're in New Orleans to take on Alvin Kamara and the Saints, who shut out the Raiders Sunday 24-0. 8 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. The Manicast on ESPN2. Our coverage begins with the Monday Night Countdown at 6. Manny Jones on the return. Jones with a good one out to the 31-yard line. 16-9, Prairie View leading Alcorn State. Some of the current NFL players from the HBCUs. That's just a couple of them. Who is the best player from an HBCU school not named Michael Strahan when you were in the league?
Oh, not named Michael Strahan back when I was in the league. Ooh, that would have been a tough one. You're going to have to let me go ahead and come back to you on
All right,
that.
that's fair. Jarvian Howard and Leatherwood in the backfield. It's Howard taking the handoff, and he'll get a yard.
I would probably have to say Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, Tennessee State. Came out in 2008. First round pick, Tennessee State.
Yep. I'm going to admit, I'm impressed that you came up with a name after one play, and that was a quick play. I thought you were going to take a little bit longer.
Hey, I do my best to try to know my history, Justin.
On 2nd and 9, a high pass gets away from Lawrence. It looked like it just slipped. Cameron Franklin on the coverage. He was the one trying to chase it down. Juan Anthony, the intended receiver.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it's still raining down there, if the ball is slippery or if it's wet, some sort of precipitation. Maybe that's the reason why the ball slipped out of Lawrence's hands like that. But nonetheless, brings up a 3rd and long 9 yards. This is where you got to see him grow up. He's got to be able to make these quarterback throws to propel Alcorn State's offense to picking up this first down and ultimately a score.
On 3rd and 9, able to complete the pass, zips it in there to Montario Hunt. That is a big completion by the sophomore.
That's a big-time throw. Montario Hunt comes in on the dig pattern. Great job anticipating this window opening up by Trey Lawrence and puts it right there in between the numbers, in between the 1 and the 4, moves the chains for Alcorn State.
After the first down pickup, Howard will get a yard. Warren Schenkel with the tackle.
On the tackle, number 34, Warren Schenkel.
Braxton Spell's helmet came off. He's got to go out for right now. Ronald Brown, the backup right guard.
Watch the ball!
Lawrence drops back to pass, comes near sideline, completes it. To Montario Hunt again. Montario Hunt in a bright spot at the receiver position for Alcorn.
Just a simple stop pattern, trying to find a way to put yourself in a 3rd and short situation. That's exactly what Alcorn State is able to do. You now got 3rd and 3. You got to be able to pick up this first down conversion, whether it's through the air, whether it's on the ground with the Jarvian Howard, but you're going to have to make sure that you continue to move the chains. You do not want to put the ball back into the hands of Conley and the rest of this Panthers offense.
Play clock down to 3. Going deep down the sideline, Hunt can't haul it in. Right now, Lawrence is staying on the field.
Yep, I like the play. I like the play. Obviously, it was an incompletion, but I like the play, trying to put it over his outside shoulder, over Montario Hunt's outside shoulder on the go ball. Nice throw. Nice throw by Trey Lawrence, but just off the fingertips a little bit. Now forces a 4th down, and it looks like Alcorn State is going to punt the ball.
Noah Kiani back out to punt. Xavier Johnson standing at his own 10-yard line. Johnson takes it at the 10. Flag on the play as he gets tackled from behind. Let's see what the flag is for. They're going to push it back some more, or is it going against Alcorn State?
Holding. Return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down.
12 minutes to go in the 4th. A timeout on the fields. A holding call against Prairie View A&M backs it up 10 yards.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Movement, elevating the next generation of black excellence.
Senior night here at Panther Stadium. We saw Bubba McDowell there hugging his players, and Bubba McDowell is in his 1st year as the head coach of Prairie View A&M. He said he wasn't going to put his name in the hat unless these players wanted him to. They said, "Coach, go for it." He went for it, he got it, was named the head coach, and now he's leading this team right now up 16-9, a chance to potentially get to the SWAC championship. And he says he doesn't take this job lightly. It's a lot more work than he knew as a position coach, but he loves this job and the opportunity he's been given.
And that's exactly why his kids are playing for him so hard.
Connor Wisham up the middle. Gets the 1st down.
On the tackle for the Braves, number 26. Ernest Woods, the 3rd. Prairie View Panthers have the ball. The offensive line at their 21-yard line.
Prairie View A&M 5-3 on the season, 4-1 in SWAC play. Conley throws a dangerous pass. It is complete. Andrew Smith with the hits. Christopher Simmons with the catch. But this one could have gone the other way for 6.
Fantastic play by Andrew Smith, getting off of the block that they try to put in front of him. They're trying to get these guys on the edges. Fantastic play because he beats the block and then makes the tackle himself. The way that coaches like to draw it up is they want you as the corner to take on the block and allow somebody else to make the tackle. Andrew Smith decided, I'm going to do it all myself, coach.
Conley, the handoff on the jet sweep to Ty Holden. 3rd down coming up here for Prairie View A&M. 3rd and 8. We've seen this Panthers offense be very successful on 3rd downs in this 2nd half.
Alcorn State is going to have to find a way to get off the field if they want to make sure that they can get the ball back to their offense with an opportunity to be able to tie this game up.
Conley forced out, and he gets sacked by Sherilis. What a night for Claudine Sherilis.
Sherilis has been all over the field tonight, Justin. I don't know how many tackles he's made. I don't know how many TFLs, but I know that he has been in the backfield all game long. 2nd sack, 8 tackles for loss. That right there is a monster game out of him, and he is showing exactly why he has got this never say die attitude, and he is willing this defense. He's willing this team to still be in this ball game.
The 2nd sack of the night for the Alcorn State defense. And Claudine Sherilis, the transfer from UMass, coming up big. And again, Alcorn State is, I think, going to be called for offside.
False start. Number 45, offense. 5-yard penalty. See it.
It's going to go against Prairie View A&M, so it backs it up. So now Efren Jasso has to punt from really deep in his own end zone. Taj Law was called for the false start. Jasso had one blocked earlier, gets this one off. The fair catch is made by Manny Jones at the 33-yard line of Prairie View A&M. Great starting field position coming up for Alcorn State after a 26-yard punt, trailing by 7. This week's featured ESPN college football game matches Alabama, number 6, against Jaden Daniels and number 10 LSU in a huge SEC West matchup. Coverage begins tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on ESPN and the app. Great starting field position here for Alcorn State, trailing by 7. Jarvion Howard in the backfield. Howard has gone over 1,000 yards on the season in this game tonight. On first down, the handoff to Howard, and Howard looks like he got put in a headlock by Jesse Evans. That was WWE style.
And you can feel the atmosphere right now, Justin. You can feel both teams now feeling right now. You got 9 minutes left to go in the game. I'm sorry, a little less than 9 minutes. Both teams want this W. Both teams know that they're going to have to impose their will on the opponent to get this W. Can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Alcorn State needs to get into the end zone. Howard tries to put a couple of moves on, breaks a tackle, breaks another one. Here goes Howard. Jarvion Howard, who had been kept in check as of late, able to get through a couple of tackles before Travion Green brings him down, a pickup of 19.
Jarvion Howard, much like Shirtless on the defense side of the ball, is willing this team, Alcorn State Braves, to go ahead and stay in this game. He is tackle after tackle, shedding them like they're just flies on a bull. So right now, for real, this team is showing that they want this W and are showing that they are going to take it to the Prairie View Panthers.
Well, the transfer out of Syracuse, Howard, is the workhorse. He leads the SWAC in running, and they're running on again on 2nd and 3.
Featuring Howard has been exactly how they've been able to manage to stay in this game. They're going to need to continue to do that right now in this red zone, punching the ball in. And I think right now, it is amazing to me watching Alcorn State play after you've seen so far this year. It's been somewhat of a disappointing start. As you can see, you can hear Coach McNair is saying that he wants his team to finish. That right now is showing on this drive.
2 tight ends in. Javante Leatherwood in at tailback on 3rd and 1. Leatherwood up the middle. Leatherwood to the end zone for the touchdown. Javante Leatherwood able to finish the job that Jarvion Howard started. That Trident backfield gets into the end zone.
Fanatic, finality. I can't think of many other words starting with the F. That right now, finish is exactly what this team right now is thinking. Alcorn State, you are now punching the ball in the end zone, a chance to go ahead and tie this game up. You know Coach McNair on the sideline is very pleased with that drive.
Noah Kiani on for the extra point to tie the game. And we are tied at 16 after the first touchdown of the night for the Braves of Alcorn State. Javante Leatherwood, another strong run. And Leatherwood is in for his 2nd touchdown of the season.
We got a game, Justin.
A look at the game summary tonight. Prairie View scored on the first 3 drives this half. But Alcorn State, with that touchdown on their last drive, snapped a 32-minute drought. And they have tied this game at 16. Lorenzo Garcia will kick off here for Alcorn State. Christian Mosley and Connor Wisham are back deep. You can hear someone saying, "Stay." Connor Wisham will go down to a knee. Well, this game has huge implications, especially for Prairie View A&M. Coming into tonight, 4-1 in conference play. They lead the Western Division of the SWAC. They have 2 games coming up after this: Arkansas Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State. They need to win tonight, keep that destiny in their own control to see if they can make the SWAC championship.
Yeah, Justin, they definitely did not expect this out of Alcorn State. Alcorn State. They didn't expect this. Alcorn State is giving them a fight right now. And we got just 6 minutes, 48 seconds to see exactly who's going to come out victorious in this game. And I think they might have looked over Alcorn State just a little bit, and now they look up and they see that they're in a dogfight.
False start. Number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second half. Correction. First down.
So now it's going to be 1st and 15 after the right tackle Jordan Johnson moved. Jaden Stewart, Bernard Goodwater in the backfield. Goodwater goes in motion. They hand off to Stewart up the middle. And Stewart gets tackled by Mikhail Webb.
Number 1, Jaden Stewart, ball carrier. A gain of 7 yards.
A pickup of 7 for Stewart.
On the tackle, number 2.
Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts remaining. Stewart gets hit, wrapped up again by Sherilis. If you want a most outstanding player of the game, my vote goes to that guy. Claudine Sherilis has come up with big play after big play, but we do have a player down. That is Devin Dawson, a 6'3", 285-pound defensive lineman out of Little Elm, Texas. Sophomore. Didn't see what happened to Dawson, just saw him on the ground. But this Alcorn State defense has certainly stepped up as of late. The third quarter was all Prairie View A&M, pretty much doing what they wanted to at will. The training staff looking at the left leg of Devin Dawson. Look to the left-hand side of your screen and look for number 59. And he gets rolled up on that left knee by his own teammate.
Yeah, anytime you're in there in the trenches, it always just seems like it is just the most gruesome, or should I just say the most physical part of the game. And now it's great to see that he's walking off under his own power, because you're always fearful of the ACLs. You're always fearful of the torn patellas and things like that. So a very, very good sight to see with him walking off under his own power.
You hope he's okay, Devin Dawson. You're surprised almost, like in basketball, you don't see more rolled ankles.
Yeah. You know, football obviously is a very violent game. It's a very physical game. So that just, unfortunately, is a part of the game.
3rd and long. Connolly pressured. Connolly wrapped up and sacked. Tyler Smith, as the Alcorn State defense steps up again, will force a punt.
This is fantastic defense by Alcorn State because they are maintaining gap integrity. They are maintaining their rush lanes. As you can see right here, number 58, Tyler Smith does not get too far up the field. Thus, Trayvon Conlon now runs into him. That gets them the sack. They're off the field. Now the opportunity to regain the lead for this Alcorn State defense.
How about the strength of Tyler Smith? Got the jersey of Conley and ripped into the ground. Efren Jasso to punt. Manny Jones lets this one bounce as it takes a Prairie View A&M bounce all the way down to the 36-yard line. And that's where Alcorn State will start with 5:04 to go. A 41-yard punt, 3 timeouts remaining. Alcorn State a chance to go ahead late in this fourth quarter and play the role of spoiler. But let's not forget, Fred McNair told us this game is really important for Alcorn State because they have a chance to finish with a winning record, and that means a lot to this team.
Yeah, Alcorn State coming down to a very feverish game that they've had. It's been a little bit up and down. Nonetheless, here you are, 5 minutes left to go in the game. It is a tie ball game. You have a first-time starting quarterback in Trey Lawrence. Let's see what he can do.
Leatherwood able to break free, loses the ball, and let's see if they say he was down first. No signal yet from the official. I believe he just said they're down.
Yeah, I think they're saying he's down.
Tariq Mulmore, he thought they got the fumble.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. And, man, that's close. And, yeah, he's down. He's down.
Did they get this play off in time, or did they signal from above?
We will reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
Yeah, that looked like a good call. Looked like a good call, Justin.
Braxton Spells, that's actually Steve Carter with his helmet off. I don't know what happened to Carter, but he is not a happy camper.
Taking a look at the play again, and his back is already on the ground, and you already know the age-old rule, the ground cannot cause a fumble, so that is Alcorn State ball.
Deontay Reed moves into center for this snap. And a handoff to Howard, who's got himself 115 yards on the night coming into that run. Keyshawn Johnson with the tackle.
And that is moving the chains. Yet again, another first down for this Alcorn State offense. You got 4 minutes left to go in this game. I'm pretty sure Coach McNair would love to allow this offense to drown out the clock for the remainder of this game, punching the ball in, not giving any time for the Panthers to come back and try to match it.
Flags come in.
Delay game. Defense, number 19, simulating the snap with a clap. 5-yard penalty. Still, first down.
You don't see that very often. Bryce Turner. Handoff to Howard again. Howard up to the 45-yard line as the clock is under 4 minutes to go.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining, Justin. So now it's just it's a chess match between Coach McDowell, Coach McNair. Who's going to be able to outwit, who's going to be able to outduel the other opponent to make sure that their team winds up getting this W. So it's going to be a battle of the minds coming up.
2nd and 2. Alcorn State has won the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Howard, beautiful moves in a tight area.
Looks like he might be a little shy of this first down.
And they're going to give it to him.
They're going to give it to him.
Yep.
This is going exactly how offensive coordinator Jason Phillips wants this game to go. I'm sorry, this fourth quarter to go. Now the clock is steadily dwindling down. It's now 3 minutes left to go. You have the ball now inside your opponent, PV, inside their 45-yard line. You would like to go ahead, chew up some more time off the clock, and try to punch this ball in with a field goal or a touchdown right before the end of the game.
Lawrence throwing deep. His wide receiver stopped the route.
Another miscue on the edges. You can clearly see they were on two different pages. One, Anthony is thinking comeback, he's thinking curl. Trey Lawrence is thinking go ball. But that sort of thing, once he's a starter a little bit longer, they're going to be able to be on the same page, and they're going to be able to grow, or should I say, create that cohesion.
2nd and 10. Leatherwood. Look at the effort by Javonte Leatherwood. The bench of Alcorn State clapping, loving what Leatherwood just did.
Because, Justin, that's just who wants it more. You can see right now, Javonte Leatherwood, he wants this game more than PV's defense. That's all this is. He just wants the game. He wants this victory more than PV is willing to exert their energy and impose their will on their opponent.
On 3rd and 2, a flag comes in from the backfield.
There's no snap on the play. Number 85, offense, was moving. 5-yard penalty, false start. Main, 3rd down.
That's a big penalty against Truck Griffin.
And now you start to get back to those penalties that plagued you a little bit in the early part of the second half. This is something that Coach McNair, he definitely does not want to see happen to his team, especially in this moment. 2 minutes left to go in the game. Now a 3rd and 7 situation where now your young quarterback is going to have to drop back and probably have to throw this ball to pick up the first down. You do not want to shoot yourself in the foot in this situation.
Howard is in at tailback. The SWAC's leading rusher. On 3rd and 7, pressure coming. Lawrence doesn't see it as he gets sacked. Hit by Keyshawn Johnson.
Whoa. Keyshawn Johnson comes screaming off this edge, untouched. You can tell Lawrence doesn't even see him. He comes smoking out of a cannon. Great play call by the defensive coordinator, Todd Middleton. A lot of times, it's not exactly what you can create as a defense coordinator, it's when you call it. And that was a timely call to put Alcorn State now 4th and long situation. Let's see what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have to punt it.
Well, they are going to punt it. Prairie View A&M calls the timeout. 1:39 to go. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining. It's 4th and 16. We've seen 1 blocked punt in this game. It was by Alcorn State. Ernest Woods had the blocked punt for Alcorn State. Xavier Johnson retreats back to his own 10-yard line. Noah Kiani is on to punt. Kiani, a good directional punt, will go out of bounds around the 10-yard line. So Prairie View A&M will get the ball starting at their own 8 in a tie game, 1:32 to go after a 40-yard punt. 2 timeouts remaining. Prairie View A&M, they were shut out in the first half, but they came out in that 3rd quarter.
And yeah, they clearly came out with a purpose, as you can see, the very first one to Washington. And now, once again, you just hand the ball off. I'm sorry, you keep the ball without handing it off for Trezon Conley straight up the middle for the 2 scores, the 2 touchdowns that Prairie View has been able to go ahead and amass in this second half, which is why now we see a tie game in 16.
Starting at their own 8, you got to watch out for number 32, Claudine Sherlis, who's had himself a heck of a night. On the delayed handoff, Stewart with a big run. Jaden Stewart across the 30, tackled at the 33-yard line. A 25-yard run for Stewart. That is huge on first down.
Oftentimes, teams always start off the 2-minute drill with a play to the running back, whether it's a draw or a screen.
They go back to Stewart, and Stewart will get 2 yards. Chris Ballard with the tackle.
A simple delayed handoff to your running back, and he does the rest. Jaden Stewart, big play, now puts them up near the 40-yard line. I'm sorry, the 35-yard line. But now, after watching the second play, now I'm wondering, Justin, are they simply just playing for overtime, or are they going to try to march down the field, simply running the ball, getting in the field goal range?
Well, Alcorn State just called a timeout, so that was their first timeout. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. What you are looking at, again, is that Prairie View is kicking into the wind, but you look at this all-time series, Alcorn State, we mentioned it, has won the last 4 meetings. The last one, Alcorn State, they won 31-29 last year. But this one has huge meaning for Prairie View A&M in Bubba McDowell's first year as the head coach. A chance to go 5-1 in conference play with 2 games remaining. Conley forced out of the pocket, and Conley gets shoved out of bounds. It's going to be a tackle for a loss there. 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 11. And with him going out of bounds, it also stopped the clock, meaning Alcorn State didn't have to call a timeout, neither did Prairie View A&M. Third and 11. Conley trying to run for it, and he gets stopped at the 37-yard line. Tavarian McCullum with the tackle. Alcorn State calls a timeout with 4th and 6 upcoming. So 1 timeout remaining for Fred McNair and Alcorn State. And again, they get the ball back, depending on field position. They already have 1 field goal on the night in that direction from 46 yards by Noah Kiani.
Yeah, so when you're Alcorn State, you're having to develop the mindset of, I'd probably say, the 25-yard line is probably the target yard line for reasonable, realistic field goal range. So depending on where you get the ball, that is going to be how you deploy your offensive play call.
Efren Jasso to punt. Manny Jones, look at his coaches, says the 30. All right, that's where I'll set up shop. Jasso, a high punt. Takes a good bounce, and that will be down at the 27-yard line with 53 seconds to go. How aggressive do you be if you're Alcorn State with this young quarterback in Trey Lawrence?
I'm going to be aggressive because right now you look at Alcorn State, they're 3-5. You want to finish the season with a winning record. You got a young quarterback. Let's see what he has, because what do you have to lose? You got the ball on the 27-yard line. You got to get, I'd say, about 40 yards, maybe 45 yards in reasonable field goal range. Let's see what you have in this young kid. Maybe he's able to make these quarterback throws. Maybe he's able to make some plays with his feet to put you in field goal range so you can go ahead and be victorious and walk out of here with a W.
Lawrence in the shotgun with Howard in the backfield. Lawrence on first down, forced out of the pocket, and he'll throw it away. Lawrence was chased down by Jesse Evans.
And if Lawrence could have simply been able to set his feet, obviously woulda, coulda, shoulda. If he's able to set his feet, he's able to find Malik Rogers about 15 yards down the field near the sideline. He just wasn't able to go ahead and contort his body, be able to set his feet because he's running to his left instead of his right.
On 2nd and 10. Lawrence, wide open receiver. It's caught by C.J. Bowler up beyond midfield, and the timeout will be taken. No, excuse me, no timeout taken. No timeout taken. 25-yard completion.
Great anticipation by Lawrence. Understanding windows have to open up and they have to open up late. He finds C.J. Bowler on the simple bench pattern out of the slot position for a nice throw, on time, on target, big play, puts them in the PV territory.
Call.
Here's the timeout called.
There's a 30-second timeout of the half.
Prairie View A&M is the one who calls it to set up their defense, and you had mentioned you want to get to about the 25-yard line. That would put you in field goal range for Alcorn State.
Yeah, about 23 more yards. You got 39 seconds left to go in this game. You don't have any you have one timeout remaining, so you still are able to work the middle part of the field. So right now, if I'm Alcorn State, I'm thinking deep dig, maybe a skinny post, because right now I'm thinking Prairie View is probably trying to protect the sidelines because they're anticipating that's what we're going to be going for. So I'm still going to be able to attack the middle part of the field because I have one timeout in my back pocket, and all I need is about 20-some-odd yards before I'm actually in realistic, reasonable field goal range for my kicker.
Lawrence gets hit as the ball is tipped. Third and 10 with 35 seconds to go. I didn't see it tipped.
Yeah, I think that was just a misfire right there with Trey Lawrence. Maybe he just had a FUBAR of some sort.
Lawrence throws high, incomplete, intended for Montario Hunt. Jamias Presley on the coverage on Hunt. 4th down coming up. And at this point, you got to play it safe. Not what Fred McNair wants, but it's the smart play. Have Kiani punt it, put it deep. Prairie View has one timeout remaining. Xavier Johnson, you don't want him touching this ball. And the timeout will be taken now by Alcorn State.
By Alcorn.
The stare by McNair. A ball game here tonight at Panther Stadium in Prairie View, Texas. Prairie View A&M 4-1 in conference play. Alcorn State coming into tonight with a 3-5 record, 2-3 in conference play. And on senior night for the Panthers of A&M, Kiani to punt. Johnson will field it at the 9. And Johnson gets tackled as he falls forward up to about the 24-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 25. 21 seconds remaining, one timeout for Prairie View A&M. We saw earlier tonight, Trayvon Conley tried to connect with Jalen Howard. A throw that would have resulted in a touchdown. And he missed him. Jalen Howard is the speed threat. Do they look to go to him again?
Yeah, it looks like Prairie View's going to just play for overtime.
Yep.
They're already in their victory, or should I just say their safe formation. So looks like we're headed to overtime, Justin.
We are, in fact, headed to overtime here in the SWAC. 16 all, Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M. A game with huge implications for the Panthers of Prairie View A&M. Will go to overtime. 7 points in the second half by Alcorn State, 16 by Prairie View. They'll start essentially 0-0 in overtime. Back here in Prairie View, Texas, we're going to overtime. Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M tied at 16. As we'll have the coin toss for the overtime periods.
I don't know about you, Justin, but I'm super pumped for this. Anytime you get more football, it's like a bonus. Anytime you get overtime between two great teams, and it's just going to be a treat to watch.
We only have a play clock. Each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime. If you have a turnover during your session and you regain possession, then the ball goes over to your opponent. You're the visitor team. Each team has one timeout, and the timeouts do not carry over. You're the visitor team. What do you want to call heads or tails? Heads was called. Heads, tails, heads, tails. Here we go. Heads was called. Tails it is. You want to toss. Okay, defer. You choose offense, defense. You choose defense. Which end of the field do you want to play on? Okay, all right. Out. I'm going to defend the end zone. We're going to play the end. We're going to play the one. All right. All right. Prairie View. Prairie View go on that side. All right. So you got
Got to be honest, anytime there's a coin toss for overtime, I think of Jerome Bettis.
Oh, Justin, that may, for a lot of people listening, that may be too far way back for them to remember, but I remember that very well.
Well, you just heard the whole thing. Trayvon Conley said, we'll defer. What do you mean I can't defer? We'll defer. Well, no, we want to play defense. Okay, that's deferring. So they're going to play defense. Alcorn State will start with the ball. Here is a look at the game summary. It was a 9-0 lead by Alcorn State at the half. They were unable to punch it in anytime in that first half. Howard is over 1,000 yards for the season. Conley, 250 total yards. And Prairie View A&M scored all 16 of their points in the second half. Alcorn State will start at the 25. You heard one timeout for each team. Trey Lawrence under center to open up this overtime period. The handoff to Manny Jones.
Trey Lawrence with a nice block.
Cuts it back. Jones gets shoved out of bounds inside the 5. Bryce Turner with a big hit, but a huge play by Manny Jones, 22 yards.
And what a way to come up big for your team. I believe that's our first time calling his name out today, Justin. What a way to come up big for your team, for your school in overtime, putting them now first and goal inside the 5-yard line.
First carry of the night for Manny Jones. Howard takes the handoff. Jarvian Howard gets stopped once, keeps it going. Howard fumbling, and he's going to be down at the 1. Second and goal for Alcorn State.
Keeping him churning, showing exactly why he's the workhorse for this Braves offense known as Trident, the three-headed monster. So what better way? Can give it right back to him.
Give it right back to him. And with a second effort, he punched it in. Touchdown for Jarvian Howard. Now an extra point is coming up for Noah Kiani, and the extra point looms large. Why? Because the only reason we're in this overtime period is a missed extra point by Luis Reyes.
Justin, this is straight ahead, no fair dodging. You see Jarvian Howard lowering his shoulders, running behind his pads, 200 pounds, showing exactly why he is that workhorse for this Braves offense.
Kiani on for the extra point. Good holds, kick is good. And Prairie View A&M now needs a touchdown and an extra point.
Just another inside zone, and they allow Jarvian Howard to simply do the rest. He runs behind his pads, and whenever he does that, he is unstoppable. And that's why now you're looking at this Braves offense going up a touchdown. Now let's see if Prairie View can come back to answer.
Prairie View A&M did their damage offensively in the third quarter. Trayvon Conley, we know what he can do with his legs. Does he get an opportunity here? Jaden Stewart in the backfield. On first down, pass over the middle is dropped. Collier Ricks had a touchdown and just dropped it.
Collier Ricks, that's his second drop today. He had one early in the first quarter, and he saw nothing but green grass and daylight and being able to tie this game. And somehow, some way, you young guys out there, you have to make sure that you secure the catch before you run. I know he wishes he could have that back.
Collier Ricks, the grad student transfer from Wesleyan. Huge drop here in overtime. Movement up front. Who jumped first?
Snap infraction, number 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
There it is by Chance Jones. Second and 15 now. Conley on the run, directing traffic, throws it out of bounds. Third and 15 as the pressure was applied by Malachi Bailey. Conley tonight on third downs has been spectacular. 6 for 6, 92 yards. Can he do it again?
Typically in this situation on third and long, I would probably say go more zone if you're on the defensive side of the ball for Alcorn State, but because you're now in 4-down territory, so essentially it's going to be 2 more downs left to this drive, I would still play aggressive. I would still play my man coverage. I would go ahead and try to pressure Trezon Conley because...
Second timeout call, Alcorn.
Alcorn State calls a timeout, maybe to talk over exactly what you're just saying right here.
Yeah, I would simply turn up the heat, or should I say continue to have the heat turned up. I would not back off. I would not get conservative. I would continue to take it to this Panther offense. That is where you're at your best. You want to pressure Trezon Conley with the pass rush, maybe a little bit of a blitz out of a linebacker, an edge rush or something like that, but I want to play man coverage in the back end. I want to continue to have these tight windows because that's where you've had the most success, because right now, Alcorn State, nobody expects them to come in here and win. Nobody expects them to come in here and get a lead. Out the gate, 9-0. You're now 2 plays away from accomplishing that feat.
On third and 15. Conley steps up and he gets sacked. Malachi Bailey with the hits. 4th and very long coming up.
Justin, it is a sack party going on right now for this Alcorn State defense. You can see at the top of your screen, Malachi Bailey just simply never stops. He has a motor that just won't quit, and he shows it right there, getting in to get the sack on a Trayvon Connolly. It now brings up a 4th and long 19, and this is the game right here, Justin.
Empty backfields. Connolly again forced out. Plants, throws. The only one there is a player for Alcorn State that's intercepted, and that does it. Alcorn State on the road upsets Prairie View A&M 23-16 in overtime. 5 in a row in this matchup for Alcorn State. Fred McNair's team does it again to Prairie View A&M.
Fred McNair said he wanted a complete game out of his team. Justin, I think you and I could both agree that he got it. Special teams, offense, defense. You're seeing everything from Trey Lawrence to Malachi Bailey to Jarvian Howard to block punts. You know, it's just an all-out great team victory, and I know that he has to be happy as a clam that his team was able to pull this one out.
Well, he said one of his goals was to finish with a winning record. That remains a possibility. For Prairie View A&M, they fall to 4-2 in conference play. They still have a chance to get to the conference championship, but no longer are they in control of their own destiny. Alcorn State, they wanted a complete game. Take away the third quarter, they were amazing. But they came back when they had to. They scored in overtime. They go on the road and win it tonight, 23-16 in OT. For Stanford Route and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Justin Kutcher. Thanks for watching college football on ESPNU. Good night from Prairie View.